Hello and welcome to Dungeon Saga, and this is the new game from Antic. So, shall we get into it?
So yeah, this is a Kickstarter copy and we're going to go through and see what's inside the box. So the first thing you'll notice is it comes in a slipcase which reveals a very swanky book style box, which will look very nice on your bookshelf. So, open that up. First thing you see is a quick start guide. Everything you need to get playing straight away, right out of the box, right at the beginning. The first thing you see explains you how to play the game and get your first game going straight out.
So, you obviously need these, not for your first one, because that's all you need for your first game. So, this is for your other adventures in the dungeon.
That's the main rule book. All very nicely detailed, nice and colourful. Lots of nice illustrations and clear. Great artwork.
So, these are your quests for the dungeon. And these have multiple adventures. I believe there's 10.
There's 10 adventures in the main core box.
So,
but this is for the Overlord's eyes only, so not for the adventurers. So there's that. Speaking of the Overlord, the main core box, you are playing as the Overlord as a necromancer. So there's lots of undead, and this is the main sheet that helps the necromancer play his forces against the heroes.
So, and what should we do next?
If those who remember the old Hero Quest from the 80s, this game comes with lots of fantastic looking scenery that you can make your dungeons look very exciting, such as wells, bookcases,
chests,
treasure chests which can be opened. They've got separate lids so your adventurers can find out what's inside. Weapons racks and all kinds of stuff, and there's plenty of them, plenty of bits and pieces. And of course, all important doors. Yep. Doors come in various varieties, from grills to normal doors, double doors, everything to make the adventure sort of pop and stand out.
Barrels?
Yeah, more scenery, barrels and so forth. But well, we need some heroes to adventure in this dungeon, don't we? So the main base game comes with 4 heroes. There's the other one. Here we are. So we have a dwarf, a barbarian, a wizard, and an elf, I believe. 4 exciting adventures for us to go on the adventure with.
And they are very detailed.
Very nice, very detailed figures. Very pretty. We also need some enemies for them to fight.
Such as undead skeletons.
And zombies.
And, of course, giant ogre zombies.
Big zombie troll. There's lots of figures. There's 2 of the big trolls. All manner of different types of enemies for your heroes to have to fight their way through.
There is another pack of these.
So yeah, there's plenty of extra creatures and things for the heroes to fight.
And a zombie skeleton.
The undead hordes have to be led by a villain, right? So inside this pack, just give me a second, I'll open it up.
You need to know. Okay, so there is multiple packets of them, as we've said, and it also comes with a leaflet for other games, and Mars Attacks. If a wonderful assistant will pass us the leaflets to show off. Thank you. So, Mars Attacks. We did unbox this in our last video, so if you go check that out, do leave a like and subscribe.
So, we have some villains. We have an undead dwarven revenant king. We have Elshara, sort of witch queen, a banshee queen. We have Hogger, I believe his name is, the undead shaman troll thing. And of course, the legendary Mortibris, the necromancer.
Yeah.
As you can see, all of these figures are quite well detailed, especially considering the cost of the game, and it's a board game. They are really good quality. Okay, so into the main game itself, you can see some nice little packaging materials to make it easy to separate and keep it tidy. What do we have in the box then? I'm going to leave that in there for a second, I think. So, decks of cards for all the abilities. And in fact, this one says open these first. If we went back to our quick start guide, it will explicitly say use this specific pile of cards to play that very first game. Dice. Lots of good dice.
Stands to make...
Clips. Those clips are for the dungeon tiles. When you're putting the tiles together, to stop them slipping around on your playing surface, you like little clips just to keep them all together. Nice little addition.
Playing cards.
So, yep, we have the hero cards.
The hero cards.
That represent the heroes and the villains. So we've got our barbarian Olaf, the villain Hogger, and on the back of each hero you've got the upgraded legendary version as well. So you can improve your characters as you venture through the different dungeons and quests. Alright, let's get into the meat of the game, shall we? In the bottom of the box there's a whole lot of stuff. Very nicely they have given us lots of little baggies to keep it nice and tidy in the future. Nice little extra consideration there from the company. So once again, I'll just quickly open up this packet.
Looks very nice.
Right, inside here we have a number of dungeon tiles and tokens.
Oh. They also...
Some other excellent dungeon tiles, so very, very detailed, nice and pretty. You will notice they are double-sided as well, so you can make various different quests and dungeons. Plenty of tiles, plenty of tokens.
Plenty.
In all shapes and sizes. Some little corner and connecty pieces and corners and corridors. So they keep going and going, there's plenty of them. More than enough to make a significant dungeon. And if you see that one I've just popped out, they aren't very thin either. They're not the thickest cardboard tokens I've seen, but they are decent quality. Nice, very detailed, very pretty, nicely laminated. Perfect for playing any kind of quest or board game such as this. So that is the main Dungeon Quest Dwarf King's Quest board game box. But that's not where it ends, folks.
That's not where it ends.
If you were a Kickstarter backer, you also got a second box of tricks, which, when I find it, is here. This will be the first time I think anyone will have seen this yet. This is the thank you box if you buy all 3 expansions. Once again, another book box with a slip cover. You'll notice it says on the side, Kickstarter exclusive, so unfortunately if you didn't back the Kickstarter, you're unlikely to receive this. Within this one, we have a second very nice book box. You can tell from the way it's got a fair heft to it. There's a fair bit of content also contained within here. I'm just going to tidy some of these. If my assistant does want to tidy some of those into the box for me.
Yeah. Right,
inside this box we have even more dungeon scenery. It came with the Tyrant of Helpy expansion, doors, a whole series of card decks. So we've got the card deck for the Tyrant of Helpy expansion, the Warlord of Galahir, and the Infernal Crypts cards to go with those particular explicit expansions. A whole load of new villains and hero cards to represent the different characters and villains and heroes you'll see along the way. So which one's on top? What have we got? We have the Warlord Overlord panel for the Orc Warlord expansion. So in each expansion there is a separate Overlord panel that allows the Overlord character player to use and get all the stats specific to the expansion directly in front of them while they're playing. Another rulebook with quests and quest books. Once again, I'm not going to show the inside of that. It's very similar quality and a number of quests available within there. Lots of excellent artwork. And a whole series more of tiles specific to that expansion. Once again, double-sided.
Ghosts.
There, I think we're into another expansion at this point. We have more heroes, and villains available. This one is the Tyrant of Helpi. This is the Dragon expansion, folks. Karathor the Unbroken. Very nice overall panel there. The rulebook for it and quests to go with that specific expansion. And of course, the tiles that also make up the dungeon. Because it's rather nicer. I'm guessing that might be his treasure hoard. And finally, at the bottom of the box, the Infernal Crypts expansion in Heroes and Villains. Once again, a series of those.
Very detailed.
Another rulebook and quest book. So once again, a whole lot more quests for us to adventure through. An Overlord panel.
How many are in here?
For the Lord of the Abyss Overlord, when playing the Infernal Crypts expansion. And, yes, you guessed it, even more dungeon tiles specific to that expansion. I think that's what we got at the bottom of that box at present.
I think there's only...
There will also be, if I quickly just put all this back in the box very quickly.
Would you like me to do that? Wonderful assistance.
So just quickly put the bits and pieces back in that box. Put that away for a minute. A little cardboard box packed on top of Carton B. For those that have been following along on the Kickstarter, will know that Carton B is the Kickstarter main Dungeon Saga pledge plus the 3 expansions. So inside here, what do we have? Well, you'll all be glad to know you get a checklist, so you can make sure everything's there. Also, you get the Adventurer's Companion as a beautiful hardback book. All the details, all the stuff you need to expand your adventures and create your own. We also get the Adventure Quest book for the Return of Valandor. Not originally an expansion during the Kickstarter, but as they progressed and created the product, they decided to split it out into its own expansion. And yeah, even more quests for us to go through. Yay. A very lovely piece of artwork, the one you will see from the cover. I don't know if you can catch that on there, but it's a very nice quality piece of print there. I'm guessing that'll be framed on my wall very shortly. And of course, the tiles and tokens that go along with that expansion. You get a pad of character sheets to make your own. And the Kickstarter exclusive Dungeon Journal. Yes, just in case you thought you hadn't got enough quests so far between the 4 expansions and the main book, there's a whole lot more contained within here.
I think I found something.
Right, we'll come back to them. So, what do we get in here? This is the figures we all want to have a look at. So, we get more of the undead to go with the Valandor expansion.
Which is down here, if you want.
You get 3 packs of the Abyssals. 2 that came with the expansion, and 1 that came as part of the Kickstarter add-ons and the stretch goals. So if one of my assistants wants to open that up for me quickly, so just show some of them. The same applies with the Warlords of Gahir. 3 packs worth of awesome looking orcs, goblins and trolls. The Adventurous Companion also has 5 decks of cards that further give you other options and ways and alternative ways to play the game, such as solo. A whole lot of cards to go through there. Right, so I think my companion has some. So shall we put them on there so we can?
Yeah.
The camera can see.
Devils this time.
Infernals. So if we put them down here.
They look a lot like devils.
So big Molochs, I believe, and all kinds of different succubi and tormentors and other things for the Overlord to attack the heroes and prevent them from getting to their goals.
And they're also
Three-headed beasts.
very good quality again, aren't they?
You all notice they all come pre-assembled, ready to go, straight out of the box.
Except
No
for that
messing. Some assembly may be required occasionally if the odd one falls off its base. Okay, so that guy's going to need gluing, I think.
This one here.
Right. So as you can see, plenty of creatures. You want to open up the orc one way colleague there? Right.
They do come in a very big box too. It doesn't come just like this.
Yes, pity the postman who has to deliver it, because it is quite a weighty box. And of course, not only do we get extra villains, but there are a number of extra heroes too. So I think that's the druid and the salamander, I believe, in that one.
You bet unfair if there's only
Naiad, I think, and a priest, possibly, a paladin. That might be the paladin and the halfling, I believe.
if we can just...
Of course, each one of these extra quests has a villain of its own to be the Overlord's end boss. So we have Draknor, who is the Infernal Crypts, I believe, boss at the end. We have an Orc Barbarian Berserker Lord dude. He's quite cool.
And the artwork on this
The Valandor expansion contains a large angel and a demon prince for him to fight.
The artwork on that is amazing.
You do get a resin character. I've forgotten his name, unfortunately, at the moment. But here, once again, the figure and the quality of the resin is exceptional. And of course, what everybody wants to see, we got Blaine, Mantic's very own mascot.
And the orcs.
Shall we see the orcs? Right, let me just move away some of these infernal beasties. Okay, so you want to put them
I'll
over there?
pass you them. And
So I think we have some sort of orc warrior.
pack of orc. Oh.
A lot of little goblins and little dudes. The detail and within that figure is fantastic. I pity those who want to paint them because there's quite a lot going on within that little piece. But it's a very nice figure. Some orc archers. Once again, a large troll-like creature. Some more beasts. As you get the idea, plenty of different variety of creatures. But definitely the one that's taken me there by storm the best is the Tyrant of Halpi himself, the Dragon. An impressive piece indeed for the heroes to face off against.
Pity you if you want to paint that one.
And there you go, folks. A Dungeon Saga Kickstarter pledge. And the first unboxing, as far as I'm aware. So, happy adventuring and hope to see our next video next time. Thank you for watching.